Hello everyone, my name's Cammie. I've just put some IKEA meatballs in the oven. Welcome to round 2 of the Gran Turismo pre-season Nations Cup taking place at Brands Hatch, one of my favourite tracks, and I was thrilled that I was able to put it on pole against what looked like some very tough competition. GBB Tom and GTP Ababa. They look like they're part of teams like I am, so they were the guys I was most worried about, if I'm honest. It's quite nice that you, in nation and manufacturer races, no matter how well or badly you did through qualifying, you sort of have to sit through this introduction screen, if you like, where even if you're not up there, you still get a moment to shine. Everyone still gets to see your paintwork, even if you end up running around near the back or have a really bad race of it. So Michael Jordan inspired paint job there. And then just plain ordinary, but still very nice Porsche livery. Got a sort of modern camo one there. And the brightest one, the Skittles livery there by John William Egan. Stefan, that was a name I heard crop up in qualifying. I think he spoiled a couple of people's laps, so I don't think he's made any friends. Sam Bingo, I got stuck behind him in qualifying, but thankfully he went off the track and fluffed his own lap, but that did mean he wasn't blocking me any longer. So I was able to get a good time in and managed to put it on pole. I believe I did a sort of 1 minute 23. In the practice sessions, I was sort of getting down to 1 minute 21.9 or so that wasn't too bad. I think I'm still about a second and a half off what will be sort of a near world record time. So, as ever with the Nations and Manufacturers Cup races, it's a rolling start. It does mean that we don't all bunch up and crash into each other at the first corners. Lights out and away we go. I know Alex Goldschmidt likes me to say that. He's a big fan of that. Down into first corner, I don't make any mistakes. Just having a look here with GTB Ababa. He quickly makes up a place against Scorpio Van, and Scorpio Van just seems to turn into him there. That will be, you'll notice that will be a running theme of this race actually. He just seems to turn into people. And GTP Ababa settles in behind Didier. Didier's off the track. Mutto's off the track. They're all going off the track, and Ababa's up to 4th place already without really having to do anything. So he's come up from 7th to 4th in as much time as it takes me to say it. Down Pilgrim's drop for the first time. A swooping fast right-hander. You know what? Whilst I'm doing this, I'm actually going to get a map up of Brands Hatch that has the corner names. That would help me as well. I know some of the corner names. I'm very familiar with Brands Hatch because, say, I live just around the corner from it. So I'm probably about half an hour drive from Brands Hatch. I've been there about a dozen times for motorbikes, like superbikes, British superbikes, as well as I went to the first A1 Grand Prix in the inaugural season of it. And then followed that up with, like 10 years later, watching the final round of the first season of the W Series, where the championship really went down to the final race. So get this hairpin right this time, no running wide. At this point, I want to floor it and get away from Tom, but I'm also conscious that I want to look after my tyres a bit, because as with the manufacturer's race, your tyres sort of go off and it can make the difference between winning and losing if you push too hard in those opening laps. So round 30s, heading back up towards Pilgrim's drop. I remember watching British Superbikes here, watching Neil Mackenzie race by. I think one of the marshals picked up some sort of tear off visors, and I was given one. I don't think I have that anymore. No idea which rider it came off even. Clip the gravel there. Very important not to get your outside wheels clipped on the grass at Brands Hatch, because once you do, that's a death sentence. As Tom makes a move, I try to give him room. I've gone wide. We make a bit of contact, and it's deemed as I was driving, it comes up with a notice and it deemed that I had pushed him off the track, which I felt was a little bit unfair, but Scorpio van, I just let him go. Bang, but he's still going to use me as a sort of mobile barrier, a mobile braking barrier to help himself around the corner. I did say that will be a recurring theme. It's okay, he immediately messes up. I duck down, get the run. He sort of turns into me a bit there, but then you'll listen out for it. Yeah, he turned into me again. Like, I'm full lock to the right, there's nowhere I could go, and he turns into me. That's all he seems to do. Or she, it could very well be girl racing. I have no idea, I tend to just say he as a default. So I've still got that second penalty. I thought that would go at clearways, but it's sort of been held off for the next lap. Round Hawthorne then. Westfield's a corner you can take quite quickly, and you can use a lot of curb there. I don't think some people realise you can use so much curb. Like, so much. Through Dingledale, Sheen, Sterling's. Yeah, you can tell I've got the track map up now. I'm just going to cut away to something that happened. GT Ababa. Oh, and Topica. That's what I said. You get the outside wheel on the grass, and it's a death sentence. So there's me just going past Topica. Yoink, I say. I just take that place back from him. Diving down Paddock Hill Bend. That's where I was watching the DTM and W Series from. It's a great vantage point because the track really drops away. The sort of the decline and incline back up the hill. The video games don't do it justice. Oh, what's happening with Scorpio van now? Oh, and he drops, giving him a nudge. Oh, naughty for me, drop there really. But say Scorpio van's problems didn't, his race didn't improve. He lost the back end, slammed into the wall. He seems to really be having a bad time with this rear end of that car. He's heavily worn out that worn left tyre on only lap 4, and he's going for another spin. I just want to remind viewers that this race is full of A-ranked drivers, and he's lost it again. Then he's been nudged by Trev Rev. I think that's a 720-degree spin. And he's going to go across it. He's going backwards slightly and across the track to get into the pits. I mean, if I was them, I'd just be retiring that car. I don't think there's any chance of picking up any real points at this race. Coming around to start lap 5 now. New best time of the race by me, 1:24.456. As Ababa goes quite wide there, a little bit of dust being picked up as we go round into Druids. Another good vantage point. The cars go so slow around here, if you want to take pictures or anything. And I lose the back end. I mean, I am running a little bit of traction control. I'm only running it on 1 as just simply a little insurance policy. I have got more used to turning it off, but for this race, with how deadly that grass is, especially in sort of the GP portion of the track, once you get that one back outside wheel on the grass, your history. So I just keep that traction control on 1, as I noticed quite a few other drivers did. Usually we'll all have it turned off, but I did notice a large portion of the field at this race had it set to number 1. Just going to check I'm still recording. I am. 9:14's gone on the recording, and I'm off onto the grass. I've just taken a bit too much speed through there, but thankfully I've stayed clear of the gravel. I've kept my foot off the accelerator, and the last thing we want there is to spin. So out of clearways, through Clark Curve, really hard corner on the outside tyres, and what's E-Drop done this time? So he's given that pretty shady a nudge, and he's taken that place off him, and then he's just done the same to Stan Bingo, and he's got the audacity to just take the place as if he's earned it. So safety ranking S, ladies and gentlemen. Everyone in this race has an S rank driver rating. S is the rank above A, presumably meaning special. So yeah, that's sometimes what you're up against here in Gran Turismo Sport. One of the reasons I did sort of migrate to iRacing for a long while, and I will be back in iRacing in Formula Renault 3.5 when the next season kicks off, which will be in mid-March. I'm just going to enjoy this lovely cup of tea I've got in my Disney Wally mug, shaped like Eva. Oh, I see you drop again. What's he done? Oh, karma. Bit of karma. Stan Bingo goes through, and that's Pretty Shady goes through. So all that nudging has brought E-drop to naught, really. Now we're leaving most of the field behind, but Tom is really sticking quite with me. He's probably preserving his tyres a bit as well. He doesn't need to overtake me on track. He knows he can do it through the pit stops. What's gone on here? Didier Levalance. He's been going down the field. He's gone for a move around the outside of Sylvain. Sylvain's moved over. Didier Levalance into the gravel. That's not going to help his chances of decent points today. So Topica and Stan Bingo have gone into the pits. I'm saying this with hindsight now because I know most are on the 2 pit stop strategy. Yeah, you'll see what I mean about that soon. So we're getting close to half distance of the race, and as I was racing I was quite impressed with how I was looking after my my medium tyres. I had my fuel sort of set up to, you know, fastest, use the most fuel. I don't think I started short shifting until later in the race though. But I still feel like I've got good pace. Tom's keeping up, but you know, we've left 3rd and 4th quite far behind. You see on the map they're a couple corners behind, which is probably sort of 10-15 seconds. Nice. The other Beetle of Jamie Fax. Oh, and he's done it where E-drop did, but he tried to fight it. And it snaps back and forth until he's finally lost it and slammed it into the barriers. He's dropped a few places there, but he was running outside the top 10 anyway. Into Druids again. I'll just keep saying these things. It helps me time up the audio with the video. GBB Tom still keeping within touching distance of me. I can't afford to make a mistake, but you can see there, like, there was no sign of GTP Ababa 95. I say, yeah, you must be thinking, like, a mistake by Cammie Racing or Tom at this point could very well decide the winner of the race. And oh yeah, I mentioned on Twitter this was a race of drama and plot twists, and you've seen some of the drama, but the plot twist is yet to happen. But maybe the plot twist is that there is no twist. Could be a double twist. Out of clearways again. Every time I come through clearways, I always remember a clip of Murray Walker, sort of when he was commentating Nigel Mansell winning his first race. Screams like Mansell comes out of clearways and takes the checker flag. Yeah, that's a nice nostalgic moment. So about a year before I was born. And GBB Tom has gone into the pits, and he was quite low on fuel and he was running soft. So at this point in time, I'm really impressed that running my mediums, I'm keeping pace with someone who is on the soft compact. He was down 16% fuel as well, whereas I'm at 25% fuel, so I'm feeling good. I'm looking after tyres and I'm saving petrol. I'm thinking, well, like, a really could be an easy win. Something feels a bit too easy, maybe. Round 4 again. Derek Minter Strait, which is a name I didn't know about. Goodell and Sheen. Now I was supposed to pit in at about sort of 7 or lap 8, but sort of left it as long as I could before I'd seen my last lap time was a second off the pace, so I was thinking, oh, now my tyres really have dropped off. 21% fuel, that's more than GBB Tom had a lap before. So Barber takes the lead briefly, but he is in the pits as well. Hit the gas, try and get out, but I've lost the lead to Marto, and I'm just going to say Jer. What kind of username is that? But I think these guys were sort of running 5th and 6th, 6th and 7th, something like that. So I don't have too hard a time catching them back up on fresh tyres. And I'm not sure Gran Turismo even does the whole cold tyre, got to warm the tyres up thing. I think I know iRacing does that with the new tyre model. I don't think it's a worry or a concern in Gran Turismo Sport. Seems to be carrying a little bit more speed through every corner than the guys up ahead. I mean, Jer, likely he's being held up at the moment by Marto, and rather than making a risky overtaking, rather than taking a risky opportunity to overtake, he's possibly just waiting for Marto to enter the pits. Sorry. Much less risky to get the overtake done during the pits. But they both turn off anyway. So at this point in time, I'm assuming they've been on mediums or the hard compound. Marto could be right there. He was on the hard compound. He gotten down to 1% fuel, so he was on the verge of running out. Gran Turismo Sport, you don't ever really run out of fuel, I don't think. I think if you run out of fuel, you go into limp mode and the car sort of stutters along at 50 miles an hour. But it's still enough to ruin your race, but it's not as cruel as iRacing, where your car just cuts out. Brutally realistic iRacing is. So a beautiful Fordzilla livery, borrowed from one of the other Fordzilla drivers. He was using it for a different championship, so there's sort of part of another number sticker you can see underneath the one that Gran Turismo pops on. He was racing in like a Spanish championship and won it, or he's winning it. Good old Perpy, he seems to be holding. If there's ever a world record with a Fordzilla team member, it's usually Perpy. But good thing is he's very lovely to talk to, very humble person. And I'm a second off his pace, second and a half off his pace, but he's the first to offer praise and a little bit of critical feedback, and yeah, he's still all around nice guy. Let's have a look. GBB Tom, and that's pretty shady. What's gone on there? So that's pretty shady. He's gone to take the inside line. GBB Tom's backed off, gets the undercut. Textbook stuff. Absolutely textbook. I don't think that's pretty shady. He's going to fight it too much anyway. He knows that's not his battle. Differing strategies, and also he's just going to let GBB Tom go through and continue on his merry way to pick up what I'm sure are some solid points for him, or even to follow GBB Tom and maybe learn from him. If I'm in a race where I know I'm not the strongest, I'll often just, if the leader's pitted and then come out behind me, I'll use that opportunity to try and follow them, learn from them, slipstream them as well, and sort of try and improve my own time and race. Otherwise, there's no point battling with someone who you know is that much faster than you, because often what you do is you hold them up, you're slower as well because you're driving defensively, and then where you may have had a gap behind you, the people behind you just catch up, and then what becomes 2 people battling for a position becomes 6 people battling for a position, and it gets really messy, and you can drop 6 places rather than just dropping that 1 place you would have dropped had you let sort of the faster guy go through. So it's really, you've got to think about the long game. You've got to think about the long game in the races that are longer than 4 laps anyway, in Gran Turismo Sport. You wouldn't think 16 laps would be long enough to start lapping people, but as you see, I've lapped someone who was in the pits. I can't tell if that was Didier Valance. I think it was. He's had a Rotten race, he qualified quite well, if I recall, 6th or 7th, maybe even higher, but he's just had a bit of a rotten time with it. And a lot eased off the grass, onto the grass again. And in the lobby before the race started, a lot of people were saying, "Oh, I hate Brands Hatch," and I think it was because it was a cruel, unforgiving track. This is the only straight where you can sort of relax, because even start-finish straight is not straight. And when you're trying to get the best racing line, you sort of move over to the outside of the course as much as you can, sort of for the apex. But it's so easy to clip that grass, and because Brands Hatch is constantly turning, you're mostly always turning right. You clip the grass and you're very likely to spin. So it is not a forgiving track, but that is why I like it. It's one of those tracks I can just watch people make their own mistakes. Fortunately, I've not made any no fatal mistakes anyway. No fatal mistakes. Coming around to a complete lucky 13. At this point in the race, I'm taking it easy. I know I've got the lead, I think by about 10 to 12 seconds at this point. The guy behind me is a back marker, so I can take it easy now. I don't need to push hard. As I wrestle the car there through Graham Hill Bend. I remember AJ Can't Fail. He was telling me about how Graham Hill Bend has been tightened over the years. Apparently it's it's much more of a curve, but now it's a sharper 85, 90 degree corner. That was when we were with the Racing Mentor, checking out Toby Trice, who was showcasing his GT4 Janetta car decked out in its Southeastern high-speed rail livery. I think they were promoting a new partnership with Puma. That makes overtaking back markers easier there anyway, if they just have an off all by themselves. It means I don't have to worry about getting past them. Although Gran Turismo Sport thankfully does ghost them out, so as the leader you can, you will never be taken out anymore by a road back marker. I think I adjust my brake balance at this point. Yeah, lose concentration and run wide there. So probably change my brake balance when I'm on a straighter bit of track, not whilst I'm coming up to a corner. That's clever. So that's pretty shady. You need to start nearer the back actually. You'd have quite a good race of it if you can keep it in the top 10. Now, those of you watching who are more familiar with these official FIA-sanctioned Gran Turismo races have probably realised, or long ago realised, the plot twist. Yes, I'm going to finish the race first, but I've not read the rules entirely. What's going on here? Oh, Tom's just had a moment. Spending a moment better. Yeah. As you see here, by the fact I'm not making a second pit stop, when I raced at Belgium in the manufacturer's race, it was 2 pit stops and I used medium tyres. I knew there'd be a pit stop involved, so I went into this race thinking just that. I didn't realise regulations change between nations and manufacturers' cuts, and between race to race. So the regulations actually say that each driver has to run each tyre compound once. So you have to do a stint on the soft tyres, the medium tyres and the hard tyres. Which explains why I was getting a bit baffled by people making pit stops when they seemingly had enough fuel. Like GBB Tom, he made a pit stop at the beginning of the last lap and I'm there going, why are you making a pit stop? And I still hadn't realised. I just figured, his tyres must be absolutely screwed that he's got no choice. But it's still, at this point when I'm driving, it's not twigged in my head. So I'm thinking, just take it easy. I'm a good 8 or 10 seconds ahead of Ababa, who's had a brilliant race, by the way. But yeah, I cross the line first, and when I do, you'll see in a moment, I get slapped with a 20-second penalty. And I'll leave my genuine reaction in from when I had my iPhone recording at the time. But yeah, I get the 20-second penalty, and in the chat lobby, a Barbara was like, you know, what happened? And yeah, because of the tyre regulations, I get a 20-second penalty for not adhering to the race regulations for tyres, and a pit stop with tyres only and no petrol probably only takes about 10 seconds. So yeah, my inexperience showing quite badly there, and it's cost me the victory. So hey, we live and learn, but I certainly won't be making that mistake going forward into my next official FIA race. Oh, that win will come soon. Anyway, thank you everyone for watching and continued support, and I hope to see you all again on the track.